What's up, guys? Red Fox here from Drunken Gamers, and today I'm riding solo just like every Resident Evil game before Resident Evil 4 when co-op became a thing. And today we're going to talk about the Resident Evil games on the way to Nintendo Switch. So we got 0, we got 4, and we got the Resident Evil 1 HD GameCube remake, which is probably one of the best ways you can play the game in my opinion, aside from the director's cut, which is also great. If you've actually played the original Resident Evil game, kudos to you, because at this point the director's cut is the canon one. Now, with that being said, Capcom is bringing out a flurry, it seems, of its properties to Nintendo Switch, which I would absolutely love, except for one problem. Why are the games $30 a piece? They are HD remakes that we've seen re-released over the last 5 years at least. Resident Evil 4, however, will be celebrating its 12th re-release since its birth. It's been out on everything from the PC to your microwave. People make fun of Skyrim, but Resident Evil 4, it's still the champion of it, and eventually you'll be able to play it on your Pip-Boy in the next Fallout game as long as Bethesda doesn't fuck that up. Now, the reason we're talking about this today is because we had an announcement just yesterday that Devil May Cry, the original one, not that DMC, great gameplay, terrible story, emo goth bullshit game that came out back in, I believe it was 2015, may have been 2014. The point is that no one cares because the game story was terrible. So we are getting that. There are no price points for it yet. You will see a video up later this week on the channel talking about the Devil May Cry original game and our thoughts on it for coming onto Nintendo Switch. I personally welcome it, but while we're at it, I also would like to see the Onimusha come to Nintendo Switch. Why not? Capcom, bring it on. A lot of people are speculating that the game is going to end up being $30 because of the Resident Evil games being $30. Which would be interesting, except for the fact that when the game's re-released on Xbox One and PS4, it is worth noting that the games came out at only $20 a piece. You can pick them up on Xbox and PlayStation. They're normally in every single flash sale possible. I'm sure we're going to see that with Nintendo Switch too. Many people are saying it was because of Nintendo Switch tax that we're getting the games at a whopping $30. Here's the kicker. I don't know what Switch tax is, so I can't argue that. Google it, let me know, leave a comment below. But aside from that, Resident Evil 0, from what I understand, is going to be the only one of the 3 games being released that are going to be on an actual physical cartridge. The others are all going to be digital. You can actually pre-order them all digitally right now on the eShop. So if you want, go check that out. From as far as I see, you don't get anything extra for doing it. Now, you can order them individually at $30 a piece, or you can order the Origins collection for $60, which is full retail price of a brand new AAA title, which gives you Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1. If you have not played them, they're awesome, especially Resident Evil 0, which is by far, in my opinion, the #1 choice out of the 3 to check out. Sure, Resident Evil 4 is the golden boy of the series. Resident Evil GameCube HD port remake, whatever you want to call it, is also runner-up for one of the best Resident Evil games to date. But 0 is kind of the redheaded stepchild of the Resident Evil series, not counting the abortion that was Operation Raccoon City and the tire fire that was Resident Evil 6, and we definitely aren't punching boulders in any of these 3 games that we are aware of, although that would probably be cool DLC where it's just everything is a boulder. Someone mod that in, please. But aside from that, Resident Evil 0 is getting a new mode. You're going to be able to, upon completing the campaign, you'll be able to play as Wesker from Resident Evil 5. Boulders are not included. With his Ouroboros powers, which is interesting. It's not a whole new campaign. It's pretty much the same campaign, but you get to use Wesker in his Resident Evil 5 form. So, you know, sure, Capcom ditched the emo goth Dante Edgelord Master, but we have the Edgelord Master Edgelord Master Big Daddy Albert Wesker for Resident Evil 0, which should be pretty fun, actually. I'm down with it. Why not? Something new. Not much added, but hey, they're trying. They're not $30 trying, but they're trying. So, it's also pretty interesting that we have Devil May Cry being announced. My honest opinion, I think that they were just looking like, hey, Resident Evil 4 is coming out in about 2-3 weeks. Didn't we base that off of Devil May Cry, or vice versa? If you don't know about that, look it up. They actually were 2 games in the same at one point. Devil May Cry spawned from Resident Evil 4 when the series was trying to take a hard left turn. Best decision they ever made, switching it to its own property. But it is interesting. I like to think that they just kind of seen that Resident Evil 4 was coming out and decided, you know what? Let's bring out Devil May Cry. Just the first one. Don't bring out 2. Who cares about Lucia? I do. Please tell us what happened without having to spend $90 on a goddamn Japanese book novelization for 5. But anyway, back to Resident Evil. If you haven't played them before, or you just haven't had the interest in picking them up on your Xbox One or PS4, I think it's worth it to get them on Nintendo Switch. Sure, $30 price tag's a little hard to eat, but you could always just wait for it to come on flash sale. As we mentioned before, it's going to show up. The Resident Evil games are frequent flyers whenever anything goes on sale on any of the marketplaces. My recommendation would definitely be to pick up 0. 0 would be the perfect little jumping on point if you care about continuity. Play 0 first. It's fun. It's definitely a good time. Then you can jump over to 1 and 4 is probably the more action-oriented ones. If you're looking for 4, it's the perfect Resident Evil game. Got the right balance of action along with the horror and scares, as you can see on screen. A couple clips going through of our playthrough for Resident Evil 4 that we did on the channel, where we pretty much just got killed at every possible moment. You might actually be able to look back and see where we tricked one of our other drunken gamers into thinking that if you collected all the blue medallions, you would get a Robo Companion. He's still looking for it. If he doesn't see this video, this will be great. But that's about all we have on the information for Resident Evil Collections coming to Nintendo Switch. Be sure to look out for the games on May 21st, and, you know, maybe go trade in some of the older titles and see if you can pick it up. What other Resident Evil games do you want to see ported over to Nintendo Switch? We had a little discussion about that before. Bringing in 7, I think it would be great. Honestly, bring back Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, because as much as we rag on that game, I absolutely love seeing what everyone was doing when all hell broke loose in Raccoon City. But that's enough for me today. That's all we've got at the moment. I'm sure we'll think of other stuff, as we always do, right after we end the video. But until then, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know what you think below in the comments section about the upcoming Resident Evil games, and be on the lookout for our Devil May Cry video, where we're going to break down some of the information we found out about the game and just our general thoughts on it. It's a classic. We love it. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I've been Matt Red Fox from Drunken Gamers, and we will see you next time.